Part 3. Lieutenant Suruku Richards' manner was firm. "I want Dr. Kotlow here, and I want him here now," the lithe Oriental sternly insisted. "He is the executive in charge of this installation, and his presence is crucial at this stage." Suruku met the nurse's glare. "Lieutenant Richards, we've been unable to locate Dr. Kotlow for almost 48 hours, Nurse Jaffrey said. That is a lie, nurse. The hospital's classified log records that he sealed himself into the time-locked pharmaceutical storage safe only 26 hours ago," Richards replied, rubbing his brow. "That log automatically opens every 24 hours. Surely Dr. Kotlow has been freed by now." Nurse Jaffrey was unable to make eye contact and nervously cleared her throat. "If you know where he is, miss," Ears suggested, "you'd best get him here." She shot a glance at Ears, a look intended to wither, but Ears just cocked his head and winked his false eye at her like an electroplated rooster. "Nurse Jaffrey," Richards added, "tell Dr. Kotlow I resent the repeated alteration of the classification code. It was a feeble attempt. If he is a coward, so be it, but his actions are most suspicious, given the situation." She replied without turning to face either Richards or Ears. "You don't know what it's been like, gentlemen. The doctor's sector was picked clean by those... Yes, 46 hours ago," Richards spat. "Why didn't he vacate that sector and relocate at that time?" "Hustle," Ears whispered. Her heels clattered down the corridor, their staccato interrupted only as she skirted Leader's approach. Bort's voice stabbed over the intercom. "Leader, Ears, Richards. Welcome, Richards. It's about time. Ready to commence final baby boomer automatic arming sequence." Ears wheeled himself into the center of the communications spread. "Affirmative, Commander. We have all in view." Richards leaned back. This was none of his concern. He was a consultant, the alien life form specialist. Leader glared resentfully. Richards was military employed, but he was a free agent, an expert in alien physiology, habits, and habitat. Lieutenant Suruku Richards was shuttled away from colony to colony, station to station, as his services were required. He arrived in his own ship, supervised his own investigations in his own time, and remained a non-combatant, free to go once the Queen was destroyed. The squad had to remain, working against the clock to do the cleanup work. Good men died, while Richards left in search of another bug hunt. Leader wondered how the man slept at night. Richards returned Leader's glare, an enigmatic humor dancing over his own. Leader scowled and darted around him, stationing himself over Ears' right shoulder to supervise. "PDT check," Bort ordered. Ears scanned the smaller screens mounted over the key personnel monitors, each showing the individual's vital life signs. One, however, remained blank. "Personal data transmitters for all personnel, check." Wait a moment. Ears tilted his head back to stare at Richards. Richards sighed and triggered a wristband he wore above his watch. The squad's PDTs were surgically implanted, but Richards was a guest, not a grunt. He wore a portable PDT unit. The blank screen blinked on, displaying Richards' vital statistics and color-coded vital signs. "Yo, that's a total affirmative." "Position check," Bort commanded. Ears scanned the larger screens. Rat hunkered in the airlock junction, a gleaming weave of alien resins carpeting the floor beneath her, betraying her proximity to the hive. The next screen shared Point's view from his station. Ears flicked a switch, and both Rat and Point brought their wrist communicators and timers into view. Leader's face was reflected in the screen projecting his image. Richards, infuriatingly bemused. Bort, swollen face lit by his own bank of surveillance screens, eyes greased with shards of geometric lunacy. And last but not least, Mock's shit kicker. Vital signs near flatline. Another battery of monitors was mounted overhead, 15 in all. The simulacra of Ear's head, positioned to scan prime locations in the hospital, their access to the hospital security systems giving them each 1,000 eyes with which to see. One showed Nurse Jaffrey, marching back into view, alone. All positions affirmative. Bort narrowed his eyes. On my mark. Ears glanced down at his own wrist timer, as the monitors all showed the same action, all timers the center of attention. 10, 9, 8. Jaffrey stepped in briskly. With a single move, without taking his eyes from his own timer, Richard stopped her dead in her tracks by clapping his free hand over her mouth. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. All timers synchronized. 7 hours, 59 minutes, 58 seconds, and counting. Ears confirmed. You now have less than 8 hours to complete the bug hunt, Bort intoned. If we fail, the detonator will do our job for us. The infestation must not be permitted to move beyond our parameters. We are all expendable to that end. If we succeed, we will resynchronize and terminate the failsafe countdown, disarming the device. Then we can pack up, disengage the baby boomers, and go home. If, however, its sensors register a surviving hostile alien lifeform, it will remain locked to detonate until that lifeform is terminated. Each of you has the power to detonate the failsafe unit from your wristband should the success of the mission require such extreme action. Be sure, people, if you do, the last thing to pass through your mind will be your asshole. Rat, Phase 1 depends on you, as always. You will all take orders from Leader. Good hunting, Bort concluded, shifting out of view. The 3 men in the communication center turned to face Nurse Jaffrey, her face twisted with confusion and indignation. The doctor will see you now, she stammered. Leader bolted to her and grabbed her arm. Let's go, Richards, he barked, dragging the nurse in tow. Richards gave a parting glance at Ears and followed. Ears turned his full attention to the monitors. Point's moves were decisive, calculated, while Rat moved furtively into darkness. She made a clicking sound. Her signal to Ears that it would be audio communication only, for a time. And Ears programmed her monitor to display a grid of the airlock system, a single flashing light indicating her position within it.